everyone, welcome to this lesson. Today in this video I'm going to talk about a question I get a lot about playing the banjo and learning is how to practice. It may seem just like a strange thought or strange question, but a lot of people don't know the best way to go about getting better and also enjoying. So what I'm going to do is break that down, how I go about it and how I recommend it to my students and inside the Banjo Earth course. And so the philosophy behind practicing is that you want to have fun, you want to work on the tunes you're working on, and then you want to learn something new. So three things essentially. And what I do is I take whatever amount of time I have in that practice session. Often I set out at least an hour a day to practice. You may not have that much time, but I play a lot of shows. I'm a professional, so I at least do that. I try to do more if I can. But whatever time I have, whether it's 10 minutes or an hour, I divide it up into three sections, essentially. And so the first section is just sort of warming up, having fun, just making some sounds, improvising, and just making things up, like just to have a good time. Maybe you've been hearing a song you want to try or anything. It's like a free form. But essentially you're just warming up. Playing some licks. So for instance, let's say we have an hour to practice. The first 20 minutes I will just warm up, play a bunch of stuff, just improvise, make things up, and then also as part of that I will just turn on a rhythm track on YouTube. So there's all kinds of amazing like backing drum tracks. I use drums to keep rhythm because I don't particularly like the metronome. But if you prefer metronome, just hit the metronome at a certain speed and get going. But I like to jump on YouTube and find some drum rhythms. And so for instance, I like a bunch of different world rhythms because of Banjo Earth. I travel to different countries and play all kinds of world music. And so one of my favorites is this Middle Eastern loop, Middle Eastern beat. And I'll link this channel in the description of this lesson. And so I said this one's at 90 beats per minute. I'll maybe start at 80 or 90 and just get warmed up and just start doing things. Maybe I play a song, maybe I just play some licks, or maybe I just make things up. But that's the first section of the practice. So I'll just give you a little sample of what that sounds like. Here's the Malfouf, Middle Eastern beat. Alright, so that gives you a little idea of the first section of the practice. So I basically just warm up, play a bunch of different things, just have fun, just see where the music is moving me in that day, and get my fingers warmed up. And then so you move on to section 2, the next, if you have an hour, so the second 20 minutes. And then what I do in that point is work on songs that I'm working on. So I have a lot of the backing tracks to the lessons that are in the Banjo Earth School on YouTube. And so you can find those in the school or just on YouTube as well under Banjo Earth School. And what I do is whatever song you're working on, just hit that backing track and just get playing that song. So for instance, this is Sugarfoot Rag, 90 beats per minute. And it's one of the melodic style versions in the bluegrass course, so I'll just give you a little sample of that and what it sounds like. that gives you an idea of the second section of the practice, and it's just basically going through tunes that you are building into your repertoire. So as you learn each new tune, you'll have another tune to sort of practice in this section. That way you're always, sharpening your sword, keeping up with the tunes you're learning, and just that's a big part of the practice, is just going through the songs you've learned and keeping them ready to go, so when you jump into a jam or you're playing with somebody, you know exactly what you're doing and how to play them. So that's what I do for the second section. And then the third section, what I like to do is work on something new. That way you're always learning something. And so it could be a new song I'm learning. It could be like a new role I'm working on. It could be something I'm writing or composing. It could be, a technique, like if you're going through slides, or you're working on hammer-ons, or any of the techniques in the banjo or school bluegrass section. That's what I do on the third section of the practice, to always make sure you're learning new things, you're continuing to grow. So the reason that I break this down into thirds is that you're watering all of those gardens, right? So you're having fun, first of all, just getting loose, opening yourself up to new musical directions, and learning to tap into the spirit, your spirit, your improvisational spirit, and just seeing where the music takes you as you warm up and get loose. And so that's the first section. The second section is working on the tunes that you're learning. We have all those backing tracks in the school, and there's all kinds of backing tracks all over YouTube. I recommend just whatever song you're learning, look that up and find the backing track and practice. If you prefer the metronome, you can do that, and so that way you're always practicing and sharpening your sword of the songs, and you're keeping those songs up to date in your fingers, in your left hand, your right hand, and in your spirit, so that they're always there for the ready, and they get better each and every day. And then the final section is just learning something new. Lately I've been working on some Bach on the banjo. So I'll spend the last part of the practice session working on that song, or learning a new song, or maybe something I'm composing. And that way always new things are coming into your music, and you're always growing and always learning. So that's the philosophy behind practice. Whether you have 10 minutes, an hour, or 10 hours, divide it into 3, work on each section, get loose, jam, improvise, work on some of your songs, and then learn something new. And if you keep doing that every day, your progress is going to be amazing. You're going to have a really fun time playing music. You're always going to be, getting better at the tunes and you're always going to be learning something new. So I hope you have fun. I hope this lesson helps you think about how to practice, and just keep jamming, keep having fun. And we'll see you in the next lesson.